Harrington. Tonight's top stories: smoke from wildfires across the state still having an impact on our air quality today, how the community is reacting and keeping safe. And part two of our interview with Corn's Brian Welch, we're talking mental health and his new local business. 23 ABC News at 7 starts now. And a good evening. This week, the San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District says Bakersfield reached very unhealthy levels because of wildfire smoke trapped in the valley. The wildfire smoke has made going outside dangerous for many people. The smoke looks like a slight fog, and officials recommend everyone stay inside and avoid outside activities. Officials say what we're seeing is a mixture of gases and fine particles that can cause health problems, especially in children and people with lung disease. Today, we caught up with a local allergist from Kaiser Permanente who shares some of the concerns they're having with the danger of breathing in this smoke.
For most people who are otherwise healthy, they might feel some tightness in their chest. They might feel coughing or wheezing. That's a whistling sound that comes from the lungs. For people that have upper airway issues like allergies or sinus disease, their nose might have to filter these particles a lot more aggressively, so they could feel nasal congestion, runniness, post-nasal drip, all of those types.
Coming up tonight, we're going to hear further from experts about how you can stay safe while our air is impacted with smoke. Again, that's tonight at 11. Well, let's take a live look outside at downtown Bakersfield. You can really just see that haze on our roof camera. 23 ABC's meteorologist Brandon Michaels joining us live from Central Bakersfield as well with a look at our forecast and, of course, our air quality. Hey, Brandon.
Yeah, hey, Jess, a little bit of an improvement here this evening compared to earlier in the afternoon, but definitely still very hazy. And I can definitely still smell all of the smoke that we're dealing with. So let's check in on the current air quality. Again, a slight improvement there. We've got unhealthy air quality right now. Our current AQI 191. That's dropped off. It peaked at about 211. That was about 4 p.m. This is the 6 p.m. report of 191. We're going to take a look at our smoke forecast as well. And in general, we expect things to clear out a little bit as we head through the evening and into tomorrow morning. But much like today and yesterday, by the time we get to the late morning and early afternoon, more heavy smoke going to be heading our way. So air quality concerns existing for tomorrow as well. Forecast air quality index for tomorrow is 153. So that's unhealthy. The past couple days, we've actually exceeded our forecast. So it's possible that that happens again tomorrow. Something else we're tracking with this smoke is some cooler temperatures. We really saw that, especially in the valley today. Actually broke out of our heat wave. Not so much in the desert. Still an excessive heat warning in our desert areas until Friday at 9 p.m. So still going through tomorrow. Taking a look at the temperatures we can expect for tomorrow. Definitely hot in eastern Kern County. Going with about 100 in Bakersfield. So we've dropped these down a little bit. Possible, though, much like today, that we could see cooler temperatures than forecast if the smoke is very, very thick, because it's does a good job of blocking out the sun, and it's very hard to estimate the impacts of that wildfire smoke. So we're going to take a look at the 7-day forecast here. And again, we're going to keep those temperatures right around 100. Smoky skies going to be carried all the way through Tuesday. We also are going to keep a close eye on Sunday and Monday. We see those little 10% chances of some showers there. We will have a little bit of moisture heading our way just in time for Sunday and into Monday. Rest of Kern County here. 100 for Friday and Saturday for the Kern River Valley, dropping into the 90s for next week. Tehachapi and Fraser Park starting in the 90s and then tailing off into the 80s, and then a little bit better chance that we'd actually see a couple of showers for our mountain communities, going about a 20% chance for Sunday into Monday as that moisture arrives here. So we'll keep an eye on the radar this weekend, and of course we'll continue to track the air quality.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And the Golden Empire Transit District is providing free rides tomorrow because of the bad air quality throughout the city. Bakersfield residents are encouraged to ride Get Fixed routes and get a lift all day free of charge to avoid being out in the bad air and the heat. Funding for air quality free rides on Get's Fixed route and Get a Lift services is provided by a congestion mitigation air quality grant. The CMAQ program is a flexible federal aid funding source for transportation projects that reduce traffic congestion and improve air quality. Well, the smoke clouding up our air coming from hundreds of fires burning around the state, most of them sparked by more than 10,000 lightning strikes. This fire, dubbed the CZU August Lightning Complex, is burning in Santa Cruz and San Mateo counties. It has grown to 40,000 acres and was 0% contained earlier today. Evacuations are underway throughout the region. So far, more than 28,000 have been forced to leave their homes. Elsewhere, two giant clusters of blazes, the LNU and the SCU Lightning Complex fires, are burning across 10 counties. Firefighting crews are working long hours to save communities in the path of these blazes. They've requested hundreds of fire engines from out of state to assist in the effort. Officials say statewide there are a total of 367 fires, 26 of them considered major blazes. And Governor Gavin Newsom announced today California has secured a fire management assistance grant from the Federal Emergency Management Agency. The grant will help ensure the availability of vital resources to suppress the CZU August Lightning Complex fire. Now, the FMAG, which is provided through the President's Disaster Relief Fund on cost share basis, will assist local, state, and tribal agencies responding to the fires to apply for 75% reimbursement of their eligible fire suppression costs. The helicopter pilot who died in a crash while fighting a wildfire in Kalinga has been identified. The Fresno County Coroner's Office confirmed the pilot was 52-year-old Michael John Foreigner, who lived in Rancho Cucamonga. Now, according to Fresno County Sheriff's Office officials, Fournier was killed while making water drops over the wildfire Wednesday. He was the only person on board. The Bell UH-1 helicopter crashed under unknown circumstances 11 miles south of the airport in Kalinga around 10 a.m. Wednesday. The crash sparked what Cal Fire calls an incident within an incident, a new 50-acre blaze that later merged into the Hill Fire, which has now burned 1,500 acres near Kalinga. It is 35% contained. The FAA and National Transportation Safety Board are investigating. New developments tonight. Bakersfield police announcing another arrest has been made in connection to the vandalism of the Bakersfield Police Memorial that happened during a protest in May. Bakersfield police say detectives located an additional suspect today. BPD officials say 19-year-old Jacqueline Hernandez was placed under arrest and booked into the Kern County Jail. They also said on July 1st, detectives identified and arrested 27-year-old Salvador Ibarra as an additional suspect responsible for the vandalism offense. Now, the third suspect responsible for this vandalism has not been identified. He's on your screen now and is described as an Asian man about 20 to 25 years old with short black hair and a slim build. The night of the vandalism, he was wearing a tan short-sleeve button-up shirt with a collar, blue jean pants, a dark undershirt, and he has a tattoo on his left forearm. Anyone with information is asked to call BPD 327-7111. Well, new details tonight. Tainted peaches could be the cause of a Salmonella outbreak in 9 states. More than 60 people were sickened from the bad fruit. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration is investigating the incident. Now, the bagged peaches were reportedly sold under the Wawona brand name at Aldi stores and Target stores in 16 states starting in June. The brand is based to the north of us in Tulare County. Aldi and Target have recalled the peaches in the states affected. The FDA is urging anyone who bought the peaches to throw them out. Local health officials say the county is moving in the right direction when it comes to getting off the state's monitoring list. Public Health Director Matt Constantine said although the county didn't meet most of the triggers that determine when that might happen, he did say once that day comes, it still doesn't mean businesses can automatically reopen.
Even though if the county comes off of the monitoring list, the restrictions the governor placed back in mid-July still stand. So although these counties are coming off, the restrictions to indoor restaurants and indoor hair salons still apply.
Constantine said the county is still not meeting certain triggers or metrics, positive case rates and hospitalizations. He also claims the numbers released each day are now closer to real-time results, but that does not include the COVID deaths. Meanwhile, public health reported nearly 200 new cases this morning and 1 new death. The death toll now at 229. 194 new cases were reported, pushing the total to nearly 27,400. For a further breakdown, you can head to our website, turnto23.com. Meanwhile, unemployment claims went back up over 1 million last week. Now, the U.S. Labor Department reporting that 1.1 million new unemployment claims were filed last week. The week before, that figure was under 1 million, which was the first time in 20 weeks. The current financial crisis due to COVID has left many people unemployed, feeling frustrated and helpless in a time of extreme vulnerability. So 23 ABC is dedicated to helping individuals and businesses rebound. There are hundreds of thousands of school employees across the state that won't be in your kids' virtual classroom, but are making sure school operations continue. They're known as classified staff, but you may know many of them as teachers' aides, bus drivers, and custodians. Scripps reporter Adam Rakusin explains the new roles these employees are taking on in a year that's anything but normal.
There are hundreds of thousands of school employees across the state that won't be in your kids' virtual classroom, but are making sure that operations at the schools continue.
I myself am a 38-year lead custodian.
Meet Ben Valdepena, a school district employee and an essential worker.
The kids call me Mr. Ben. But throughout the state of California, there's a Mr. Joe and there's a Mr. George and all that. And that's a title that the kids give you.
Ben's also the head of the California School Employees Association. The union represents about 250,000 classified employees across the state. Many of those workers will be on the job when the school year starts, just in a bit of a different role. Instead of transporting kids to school, buses transform to internet providers.
They are now becoming Wi-Fi hotspots. Where they actually are parking their buses in areas in certain school districts to provide Wi-Fi for the kids in the neighborhood.
In the Sweetwater Union High School District, bus drivers have been assisting with food distribution, processing of free and reduced lunch applications, and book and supply distribution. The district said classified instructional assistants are also helping with COVID temperature checks for visitors and staff who come to campus, book and supply distribution, and responding to parent questions. Ben says the state budget protected the jobs for custodial staff, food service workers, and transportation workers. But there are other employees.
Some of our school districts have decided to forego that and lay off as many classified employees as they can. One of our school districts just recently laid off over 50% of the classified employees.
The Poway Unified School District is in the middle of negotiations with its classified union.
We are just starting that conversation to really drill in, see what that work looks like, and then how we go about matching up those that are willing with the needs of the district.
Courtney Martin is the president of the Poway School Employees Association.
When they come back in 2 weeks and they're on the clock, they want to make sure that they're contributing in all of those spaces and needs, childcare needs, cleaning and sanitization needs.
Ben says schools will eventually reopen, and the people behind the scenes will be a part of it. For now, they're doing what they can to support the kids and learning.
In the remote world, the kids need as much education and they need as many resources as they can possibly get.
Adam Rakusin, 23 ABC, connecting you.
And you can always find more information on getting back to work, making ends meet, and managing the pressure. Again, just head to our website, turnto23.com, and click on the Rebound section. Well, you've seen the first half of our one-on-one interview with Korn's Brian Welch, talking their new release and their plans for next year. Now we're taking it to a more personal level. 23 ABC's Danielle Kernkamp discussing how he's taking care of his mental health while in isolation and the story behind his new spa here in Bakersfield.
In your documentary that was put out last year, Loud Crazy Love, you're so open about addiction and mental health and all of the struggles that can come with those. And I'm wondering if those aspects of your life have helped fuel you to open up this new spa in Bakersfield and wanting to help other people make sure they're taking care of themselves.
100%. You know, it's we're getting tested right now. I think the human race is just going through all over the world with this thing, and you know, the racial injustice but all of this is bringing out, probably if someone suffers with depression and mental health, I think it's bringing it to surface even more. And so, you know, I've been through all of that, and I would be a liar if I say that I'm not feeling some of those things during all this stuff. You know, it's just, you just wonder what the hell's going on, you know. And but I'm totally convinced we're going to come out of this healthier, stronger, and more wise, and more empathetic, with people. And so I have a lot of hope for America and the world to learn from this. And so, yeah, my focus is always on helping people, but even more so now. When I left Corn and I was on drugs and everything, I went into isolation, and that helped me find my spiritual connection and help me learn to love myself, because I think we're always going with friends and family, and we never have time for ourselves. And, all that stuff is good, but there's got to be a balance. And so now we're forced into this, other thing to just to learn about ourselves more, and to slow down the rat race. And so I can see why people go stir crazy and everything, but I just hope that the majority of people know that this is a good time to get to know yourself and to better yourself and to learn and grow.
And that's kind of the focus of your new business here in Bakersfield. Tell us a little bit about it.
I opened a company with actually the physical therapist for Corn. He was with us for 2 years. His name's Matt O'Neill, Dr. Matt O'Neill. He was on tour with us. And the dude is he fixes, he's like a healer. He's a physical therapist, what they do, but he's really good at it. So he's going around with the bands, and he's really working on Jonathan every day. Jonathan just, needs it because he's the front man and all that. And so about a month into the tour, he's like, I need a physical therapist. The physical therapist needs a physical therapist. He's worn out. He's got tour fog. He's, sleeping in the bus every night, different hotel on days off, and it wears on you. And so on a day off, he was like, I'm going to try that float therapy that is supposed to do wonders. He goes to a float spa and he feels amazing. He's he had an epiphany. We got together and we started talking because I'm all in about helping people, and these modalities, the float therapy, sauna, infrared sauna therapy, cryotherapy, we have all these services in one unit. It's on Buena Vista and White Lane around there. Just hit Amy up at Zivel, Zivel on Buena Vista.
I'm Danielle Kernkamp, 23 ABC, connecting you.
And you can watch both parts of that interview, as well as some clips that didn't make it on air, on our website, turnto23.com. And if you miss live concerts and watching bands perform, then we've got you covered. Starting tomorrow, 23 ABC in the Fox Theater will be bringing you shows as part of the live stream vaccine series. This morning, Matt Spindler, manager for the Fox Theater, joined us to talk about it.
Big names. There's a lot on there. The Aviators, Hate Drugs. Man, there's a huge list. La Maracha, there's J2 in the business. I'm trying to go through my head the Rolodex. But there is a lot, and we try to make it eclectic as possible to get a little bit of everything.
Tomorrow's performance will feature the Appletons, and you can watch the live feed on our 23 ABC Facebook page, on our 23 ABC mobile and tablet app as well. Just be sure to turn on the push notifications, and of course it will be streaming on all of our platforms. Well, the Kern County Fair announced recently that the annual event was canceled for this year. As a result, many local organizations that rely on the event to raise money were left scrambling to make adjustments. Teen Challenge has been a mainstay at the fair for 20 years, and they're still planning to get into the spirit of the fair with a series of fundraisers set to kick off next week. They'll be offering some of their most popular tasty items in a drive-through fashion to help you satisfy your cravings.
We're skipping the main course and going straight into dessert. We're going to be offering hot, fresh kettle corn and our homemade dumplings, apple and peach. And these two items have been our top sellers, for over 20 years at the Kern County Fair, and the demand has been high.
The fundraiser will be held at their facility at 301 East Roberts Lane, beginning the weekend of August 28th through the 30th, then continuing September 4th through the 6th, the 11th through the 13th, and 18th through the 20th. Call 399-KERO, that's 399-2273 for more information. Let's take another live look outside at downtown Bakersfield. Again, that haze really not going anywhere. 23 ABC's meteorologist Brandon Michaels joining us now with a final check of our forecast. Hey, Brandon.
Hey, Jess. Yeah, definitely hazy and smoky. Really can't even see the setting sun behind me once again today, and we're going to deal with that tomorrow. As far as our temperatures through the day tomorrow, a little tough to predict, but here's what we're looking at. Probably topping out around 100 degrees, kind of slowly warming up to that point. I don't think we're going to drop off too much through the day through the night tonight. So it's definitely going to be another warm day today. Next 6 days, kind of hovering in that same range. We broke out of our heat wave today. It doesn't look like we're going to get back into that because temperatures are going to be right around that 100-degree mark all the way through Wednesday. And again, we are going to continue to see those smoky skies through at least about Tuesday.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And that's going to do it for us on this special digital edition of 23 ABC News at 7. We hope to see you back tonight for 23 ABC News at 11.